Britons being refused job interviews in Europe because of Brexit, MPs told. Loss of free movement rights means UK workers not suitable for many professional roles.
Here's a summary of the article.
British citizens living in the EU are increasingly being refused job interviews because of their impending Brexit loss of free movement rights, MPs have been told. EU employers are anticipating the end of those rights, which will make it harder for Britons to do some jobs that involve cross-border travel. We are seeing people refused interviews for jobs because those jobs require the freedom to travel across the EU, Calba Meadows, a steering group member of British in Europe who lives in France, told the EU Future Relationship Select Committee. We're not even at the end of transition yet, and there are already real live instances of people's lives and livelihoods being affected, and that will only increase. So many jobs rely on free movement because of the single market. While the Brexit withdrawal agreement protects some of the rights of British citizens abroad and EU citizens in the UK, there are holes in it, notably with regard to jobs not based in a single member state. Michael Harris, a steering group member of British in Europe who lives in Spain, told MPs, "There's a stereotype of a Briton who lives in Spain. There are a lot of retired people in Spain who won't be affected by the need to go and work or provide cross-border services, but around 60% of Britons in Spain are working age or below. Young Britons in the EU are the people who are going to be most affected by this, to go and study and work." Jane Golding, the chair of the organisation, told the same committee on Tuesday that the suggestion that rights for EU nationals after Brexit were the same as before was misleading.
This post received a score of 31,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Oh look, a foreseen consequence. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
Well, looky here, it's my chickens, coming home to roost.
The prodigal son hath returned, and guess what? He's still an entitled asshole.
Less than so's the wind, greater than whirlwind, oh, hi.
Well damn, if that's not the very same bed I made that I have to lie in.
Well, I've already gone ahead and dug this grave, might as well.
Every consultancy has been shouting this from the fucking rafters since they first floated the idea of Brexit, but now that it's too late the MPs can pretend to give a shit. The MPs are happy, they avoided the tax legislation they wanted to.
The problem was that MPs didn't want Brexit, hence why it took so long and a change of leader and larger majority.
They wanted Brexit. The bigger problem was that Brexit was very poorly defined, and they couldn't agree what kind of Brexit they wanted. It's like asking people if they'd like to eat out or cook at home, and when they've agreed to eat out, make them decide where, and they can't come to a decision until someone with enough clout finally points out that the only thing actually open is Taco Bell. No, they on the whole did not want Brexit. The 1,000 flavours of Brexit endlessly debated in Parliament was very much due to Remainer MPs trying to throw a spanner in the works. I say this as someone who voted Remain as well.
Who could have ever predicted such a thing?
A lot of us did. We were labeled traitors for voting Remain and are now being taken down with the ship. It's fucking depressing.
That feels oddly familiar.
This is how I feel as someone who's been in quarantine since March.
It will never cease to amaze how the two greatest Western powers in history were both taken down by a social media website.
Facebook is huge, but you can't just ignore Fox, Sky News like that. Zuckerberg is a greedy twat, but Murdoch is straight evil.
In the UK, the Daily Mail and the Sun newspapers' websites probably hold more sway in promoting the propaganda of the right, Brexit etc., than Facebook does.
2 words for you, Cambridge Analytica.
What? This is an outrage. Brexit was supposed to stop those dirty foreigners coming into UK, not the other way around. How dare they prevent good English lads from going and working wherever they damn please. It is another example of EU oppression.
You jest, but the kind of people who voted for Brexit are the kind that would never get a job outside the UK anyway.
Doesn't mean they won't be pissed off about it, though, merely that this would be hypocritical. Which, yeah.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.